the side and the glue close by. We men, broken warriors, give them one more try. Cavalry rides beneath the lamp's warm light. On this tiny frontier, we rewrite the fight. Wargaming in miniature, no war too small. Battles on the tabletop, we'll conquer all. Heroes made of plastic, armies clash and roar. Wargaming in miniature, let's fight some more. Tiny soldiers on a grand paper plane, rolling dice to echo cannons refrain. Kingdoms rise within this tabletop dust. In strategy and chaos we place our trust. The generals leaned with a calculating stare. Hands of fate guide moves with a flare. Tiny hills climb where valleys fall steep. Battles fought while the house stays asleep. Wargaming dreams on a six-sided star. In this microcosm we travel so far. Heroes die small, but their legends grow large. In this tiny world, we're always in charge.
All right. Hello again, everybody. This is Derek. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to sit here. I'm feeling under the weather again. No, I'm not. I'm let me rephrase that. I'm on the mend, but it's a slow process. I started painting a little bit this morning, and I said, you know what? Why don't I turn the camera on and share with everybody? And then one thing led to another, and stuff started to snowball, and so now I might not be able to stay online. But I appreciate everybody that's coming by and saying hello and all that. So the first 10 minutes or so, I'm going to be checking my blood sugar. I'm going to be taking my medicines. And I figured I could turn the camera on, and you guys could, keep me company while I do that. And then depending on how I feel, we can start painting on these figs that I've got on the table, which is all French Guard Cab. Okay, so first things first, I want to let everybody know that I've got these new gloves. I got them at, I don't know, Walmart or something like that. Walmart online. And it came with a pack of like a dozen for like $5 or something like that. pretty cheap. They're reusable. I'm not going to take them off and throw them away or anything like that. They're fabric, so they're breathable, and that's way better than my plastic or rubber gloves. Okay, so I've got a blood sugar reader right here. I've got test strips. We're going to be reading my blood. If I can get one of these strips out without making a huge mess. I'm going to have to take one of these gloves off. I just realized to prick my finger. Oh, come on. I might have to run to the bathroom, actually, because I'm starting to feel like I need to go use the bathroom. So today's just going to be a slow day. Relax, a paint, talk, and chill. Nothing too. Okay, got the strip in. It's powering up. Let me get my finger pricker all charged up to jab a hole in my finger. Now, luckily, I had good balance today. Good wind. What? But that's all starting to wear off. I extended my luck, I guess. Okay, here we go. We're going to prick my finger. I don't know which finger to prick. They've all gotten like a million holes in them. Let's try this one. See if I can get some blood to come out. I'm squeezing. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a whole lot of blood. Try that again. Try a different spot, different finger. No, I got like calluses or something, so it doesn't really want to prick my finger. Oh, wait, this one might have some blood coming out of it. Okay, let's give it a shot. saying it's low, like low blood. You got to be quick or it'll error out. Still not enough. It's going to error. You only get 60 seconds. Oh, it's counting it. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Error. Ah, you bitch. Okay. Got to do it again. Hey, Brian. Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Trying to put it in backwards. Okay, hold on. Nope. Saying try it again. Okay. Here we go. Ah, there we go. I got a good amount of blood on that one. Now let's feed it up. And it's reading. Okay. Okay, it's pretty high. Still in the green. I don't know if you can see that. But it's at 160. Well, you're within manageable. I think it's supposed to be like around 100, 120. 200 is a little high. So to me, 160 for my thought process anyway, it seems like that's a little high. I didn't take my insulin this morning. Maybe I should go ahead and do that. Which I pulled a needle in my insulin out, knowing I was going to take it anyway. I was planning on doing it. I ate a couple hours ago. Probably why my blood sugar's up. Yeah, they got me on this 70/30. Whoa, lighting. And I've also got some pills I'm supposed to take every 6 hours. Oh, my back. My back is killing me because I've been sitting here since this morning. Got me a little injector. I'm just going to stick it in my stomach. What I plan to do. Okay, sometimes it's hard to read. There we go. Okay, now only pull it out to the dosage amount. Right about there. Grab my gut, pinch my belly, and jab it into me. Okay. Done. Put my insulin away. Luckily, the 7030 is not that expensive. It's like, shit, I don't even know. $20 or something like that. $30. And it lasts for 3 weeks, maybe a month. Now, I'm not going to take one of these guys because this pill right here, I don't know if you can see that. This pill is like a full gram. Sucralfate, 1 gram tab. No refills. Well, that's fine. I don't plan to refill it. I got this, which I don't know if you can see this, but this is if I get nauseous. Dissolve it on my tongue. Dissolve 1 tablet. Now, this says I'm supposed to do it every 6 hours. Well, I'm not. I only do it when I get nauseous. Metoclopramide, 10 milligram tab. Take one every 4 times daily. Okay. So that's 6 hours. We'll take one of those. Which some of these are supposed to prevent nausea, but I think they trick you into causing nausea. And this one is pantoprazole. Rizzoli. Who gets to name these things? Also a 10 milligram tablet, but it's shaped differently. And I think they said this was over the counter, or no, maybe not over the counter, generic. This is a delayed release tablet. Whatever that means. And I'm holding on to these nausea ones because I'm starting to feel a little something. When I talk a lot and I expend energy, you know, it I know you think of something so simple as just talking as expending energy. That's how weak I am. And then I noticed that this morning when I was painting, what was I painting this morning? Oh, the skin, the faces. My hands were shaking. Luckily, these are mine and not a commission. You know, so if I mess them up, I can always take time to fix them or whatever. Now, this other pillow's hard to get to. If I throw up on camera, I'm going to apologize for that. My phone's ringing. I have a vomit bag. Right here. Apologize. What did I just throw up? Nothing. Might be that food I ate 2 hours ago. Sorry. Yep. So I wonder if that one pill I just took is a waste. Because I just got nauseous. Man, and I was doing so well. It's that solid food I was eating. I hope this is off camera. Oh my gosh. So my plan was I was going to be on for a couple hours and then go get some rest. Mainly because I didn't get a full night's sleep. I keep waking up, with thoughts in my head, staring at the ceiling. And so I just go ahead and get up out of bed because, I can't go back to bed. So I was going to talk about this, but let's go ahead and talk about it. Well, I was planning on putting an order in today for Victrix. And so what I did was, since I was up so early this morning, mind racing, I decided to go ahead and place my order for Victrix. You know, I think I got carried away. Sometimes after you vomit, which I just did, very mild. That's like, you probably didn't even hear me up chucking. Um, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. Usually after you vomit, my stomach feels a lot better. It's like it gets rid of whatever it needs to get rid of, and then all of a sudden you're back to normal. Okay, but I still need to take this one pill. I probably should take another one of those others, but I'm gonna hold off on that. I just said screw it. But I'm gonna take this second one. Oh, that went down pretty fast. So I got on there and placed an order for Victrix, and you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but I actually shaved this morning. Normally, I don't shave in the morning. I usually shave in the evening. But since I was up and I was basically just trying to keep my mind occupied, I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and just shave. Now I'm going to take one of these nausea things, even though it's after the fact. That's all right. Don't you guys enjoy watching me taking my medicine? Watching me go through this pain? Just think, it could be you. Come on. There we go. I'll just hit that right there. Yeah, this is a tiny little pill. 5 milligrams, maybe, I'm guessing. I guess I could look at it. I can't read it. I think it does take 5 milligrams. Look at that. These are not my normal glasses for doing anything ever. Okay, got to dissolve. I only have one more of those vomit bags that we brought home from the hospital. So, if I go through another vomiting spell, which I don't think I will, but because I haven't since I've been back from the hospital. Well, that's not true. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, that's only the second time since I've been back from the hospital that I had to vomit. My mind is jumping around. I'm going to apologize if I start saying something and then all of a sudden I jump subjects to another subject. But okay, so I put an order in for Victrix, and they've got this game called Pillage. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pillage. It's basically a medieval skirmish combat game. It's really cool. So I decided to order a ton of books for it. All the war bands that they have available. I ordered all the war bands, medieval knights, medieval foot sergeants, Saxons, Vikings, Russ. What was the other one? Saxon, Viking, Russ. Oh, Normans. And then I ordered I couldn't order the World War II sets because they were out of stock. So I went ahead and restocked on some Napoleonics. And they now own Little Big Men Studios decals. They own that company now. Apparently, the guy that was running Little Big Men, it's a decal company. The guy that was running that owned it, started it, sold it. He apparently, about a year ago or so, was going through some medical issues, and I can relate now. I can definitely relate. But he was going through some medical issues and decided just to stop doing his business. And Victrix offered to buy him out. And so Victrix bought Little Big Men. And now you can pick up Little Big Men through Victrix or myself. Because knowing I was going to be carrying quite a bit of Pillage stuff, I said, I should probably get in there and stock up on some Shield decals, some Barding some heraldry and stuff for barding for the knights. Oh yeah, and I did order like the not the camp stalls, the market stalls. I thought those were really cool. And because you can put them in a like a town. If you have buildings, you can put these market stalls in like a town setting, and it would look really cool. And then I also ordered nasty. I also ordered some heads. Basically, they're helmets with I can't remember what they call those. It's not heraldry. It's mantling or something. But basically, it's these horns and dragons and wings and all different kinds of medieval helmet styles with different types of regalia on top of them. And they sell them just a bag of heads. And there's like 60 heads in a bag or something like that. And so I ordered a bunch of those because they're listed as medieval and fantasy. So if you wanted, you put them on your D&D models or whatever, that would be cool. And or you can put them on the medieval knights, and you can use that knight as a paladin or whatever. I thought it was pretty cool. But the little big man decals, I went through and I ordered some Normans and some Saxons and some medievals, Viking, because I noticed that my little big man decal selection is non-existent. I mean, I think I'm completely sold out. The reason why I even started selling them was because I ordered a bunch of little big men decals for myself personally. I guess before, when I was ordering directly through Little Big Men, before Victrix bought them, and I was using those on my own personal models. But I got to a point where I was like, I'm not ever going to use this, this decal sheet or whatever. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to take all the decal sheets that I personally am never going to use, and I'll just put them on the store. And I did, and I sold them, and blah, blah, blah. FYI, just so you guys know, there are tariffs on Victrix. So, Victrix doesn't pay that tariff. I do. So, like, if I put a $1,200 order in, they turn around and charge me like $60 or something like that. No, I guess it was higher than that. I don't remember how much it was. But they charge whatever the tariff is, they include it in the order. So I have to pay it. Which I understand it's supposed to be a deterrent to, but this is kind of where I'm a little down on tariffs. Overall, I support tariffs. Even when it affects me. But there is a circumstance that I don't support tariffs. And that's when it affects me. No, I'm kidding. When you can only order a certain product from a certain company and you can't find it anywhere else, like if I can't find that product in the United States, then I shouldn't be charged a tariff. But what they're trying to do is get companies to move their manufacturing to the States instead of manufacturing overseas. Well, guess what? I'm just going to use Victrix as an example because this is the one that affects me. It's a British company. Why would they manufacture in the United States? There's only one company that does it. Victrix. Now, there is Wargames Atlantic, but their models are different, right? They're not the same model. And so you can't just say, well, buy it from manufacturer A. Well, I can't because it's only made by manufacturer B. And so those are the ones that I don't think should have tariffs. But that's out of my control. Okay, so back to what did I order? I'm thinking about pulling the order up and listing it off, but war bands, and I ordered the war bands because it's better for a player to buy a warband pack and build their army from that than to buy the separate pieces and build their army. Because, see, Victrix has a couple of different ways. Like, we'll just use Normans as an no, not Normans. Let's use Saxons as an example. They've got early Saxons, late Saxons. They've got armored Saxons, unarmored Saxons. They have Saxons cavalry. They have Saxon chieftains. They have huscarls. And each one of those has its own pack that you can buy. That's their normal setup. And the reason why they do that is, okay, let's use the Romans as an example. Or it doesn't matter. Any unit. When you buy figures, usually you're not buying them to play a skirmish game. Usually. You're usually buying them to play some rank and file game where you mount multiple figures on a base or multiple bases and you move units around, in clumps, maybe 2 or 3 units. And if they sell 60 models in a bag, like you could get Saxon warriors, 60 models. Now, some people like to have 30-man units so they can make 2 units. Some have 20. Some use 24. Some use 18. Whatever you use for your unit composition, you need multiple figures. And a lot of them. So, especially the Napoleonics, right? Because they're, rank and file and all that. So, so you buy like a Highland Center company. It comes with like 60 models, and you start building maybe 2 or 3 battalions worth of Highlanders. And now you've got a good amount of models on the table. Where Pillage is not like that. Pillage is you'll have like 5 Huscarls, maybe 10 Spearmen, maybe 10 Axemen, or archers or something. And instead of buying all those different packs, you could just buy a warlord pack. Warband pack. And in that pack, you'll get a sprue of Huskarls, a sprue of warriors, a sprue of archers, a sprue of cavalry. So you'll get like the same 60 models, but it'll be a variety pack. So you can make your warband the way you want it. And if you need more, you can always get 2 warband packs or whatever. Or you can still buy the individual solo composition packs. It's just not effective for pillage or Baron's War or Ruckus or whatever you're playing. Buying the individual sets is not cost effective. Unless you're just a freak and like to have hundreds of models on the table. Which, hey, I'm one of those guys. I don't even know how many models are down there, but I think it's 60. So I bought, instead of buying the individual packs, which I neglected to do, I ordered the war band packs because I thought it would be the best for the players. And I've actually never read the rules. Because what I do is I get them in. Whenever I get a new set of rules in, I will post it on my eBay store. Like if I get, like I've been previously buying like 3 books at a time. And when I get those 3 books in, I'd put them on my store. And then I would tell myself, this week, I'm going to read those rules and then maybe do a boot camp, let everybody know what the rules are all about. And in 1 or 2 days, they're all sold and they're shipped out. And I don't have the rules anymore. So this time, I think I ordered 6 books. So maybe I can get it to last a week. I don't know. Pillage is like super popular. My Victrix box, which I don't know if you can see behind me, but there's a cardboard box behind me. And I put a label on the front that says Victrix. That'll hold about 40 sets of various Victrix packaging. Maybe more than that. 40 to 60, something like that. And I think I'm down to like maybe 10 packs in there right there. So I really needed to restock. So I did. Napoleonics and Pillage is the ones I was focusing on. And the decals. And the Pillage rules. All right. So that order went in. And the way Victrix, this is just a little inside baseball. The way Victrix manages their reseller accounts is that they'll receive the order via their business website, which is not their regular store website. They'll receive the business order. They will pack it, box it up, weigh it, find out what the shipping is going to be, and then send you an invoice to pay it. And I've not received that invoice yet. So they're still in the process of either packaging it or weighing it or something. And then usually as soon as I pay it, it's at my door in like 3 days. It's like incredibly fast. So, so I'm checking my email every minute. Actually, I've been kind of like just staying on top of my emails. All right, so that's one thing. I got that Victrix order out of the way, and I ordered so much Victrix. It's probably the largest order I've ever ordered through Victrix. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It's probably even my initial order probably wasn't this big. I'm not going to say how big it is because it's astronomical, but I put a pretty sizable order in with a focus. I ordered multiple because in the past I would do like a shotgun method where I would just order a little bit of everything, right, and try to just get a bunch of different stuff, maybe ones on everything, right? Well, this time I didn't do that. This time I focused on pillage and I ordered multiples of everything. So, like when I decided to order the warbands, I ordered multiple warbands. When I ordered the Rust warband, I ordered multiples. Books, multiples. So it's going to be a lot of the same stuff, but it's just going to be a lot of it. So because I lost impulse control this morning, and I ordered more than I probably should, which is good because, believe it or not, Victrix does sell pretty quickly. Now, I don't know if you've been on my store, but I offer free shipping on any order over $50. And so if you can imagine just imagine a $40 box set or bag, right? You order it, you don't get free shipping. Okay. But that $40 item, I can't sell for $40 because I was trying to get to this at the beginning because of the tariffs. If I'm paying the tariffs to Victrix, all I'm doing is considering that an increased cost of the model. And I sell based on the cost of the model. So if you add, I try to stick to the manufacturer's suggested retail, $40. But if the shipping is really high, like $200 for shipping or something like that. But what I do is I take that $200 and I divide it by how many items are in the package, or at least by percentage or whatever, and that might add. It could add $5, let's just say, to the item. So instead of it being $40, it's now $45. And then with the tariff added on top of that, it winds up being a cost to me So I have to sell it for $50, approximately. I'm just pulling numbers out of my butt. And because it's $50, it gets free shipping. So I got to pay for that. So, so what I'm saying is, when you see the item on my store, it might be a little higher than what's on their website, but when you buy it from me, you don't have to pay any tariffs. You don't have to pay any shipping. It just shows up. That's up to you guys. However you want to do it. If you want to even do it, that's fine. Otherwise, it's going to be sitting in my inventory for a while and, collecting dust. But most likely, it'll be gone in a month. All of it. Or at least so much that I'll only have a few things left. Something that I thought would sell really well, I thought would be like an item that just flew off the shelf, was the Roman bolt thrower. You get a handful of bolt throwers in the packaging, and it's really cheap. Mainly because all you get is like 3 or 4 bolt throwers. I think I'm not sure. With the crew, so you might get like 4 bolt throwers and like 16 crew, and they only charge like $15 or something for that. So I thought that everybody that plays any kind of Roman game is going to need bolt throwers, and surprisingly enough, no, nobody buys them. I'm flabbergasted. So I still have some bolt throwers if you're interested. Okay. So because I lost impulse control, I'm not going to be putting an Old Glory in this month. It might be next month. While I was sitting here and I was doing painting, there is a set of miniatures. These 4 sticks right here is the Blues, or the Dutch Hussars, Dutch Lancers. These guys are the Polish Lancers. Those are the Dutch Lancers. The Dutch Lancers they don't have a red facing. They have a weird purple reddish color facing, and I didn't really know what that's called. So guess what I did? I went on ChatGPT and I said, hey, what's their facing color? And it gave me this name that I can't pronounce. It says, they wear this, which is basically a deep crimson with rose mixed in. And I was like, okay. Is there a model company out there that makes that color? And there is. So I said, oh, okay, well, since I want to go ahead and order that color before. There's no rush to do their facings. And so I went down a rabbit hole and started looking at paint colors and paint brands like Vallejo and AK and MiG and Tamiya and all these different companies looking for that color. And I found it, but the picture on the website makes it look red and not magenta or whatever. Now I looked at some of these magenta colors. They're not the same. They're a little bit different. The one color that I think that I currently own that is correct is from the P3 line. It's a magenta. But ChatGPT said it was a crimson with rose mixed in. And so I went looking for this color. I found it. The picture was off, but I went ahead and ordered it. And while I was looking for that color, I saw something else that I don't have. And then I saw something else that I don't have. And I said, okay, well, at least I'm not restocking, but what's the word when your collection is incomplete and then you're trying to, you add some more cards or some more, whatever. And what's it called when your deck is not complete? Or, the paint collection is not complete. Well, whatever that situation is, I felt, what's the word for it? FOMO or whatever, fear of missing out. So I ordered some Fanatic paint. I ordered some Express paint from Vallejo. Model color, some air color, and of various different colors that I don't own. Which I was like, oh, this is a really cool color. Could I use that color? Is that a color that I wish I had? The answer was yes. So I said, okay, let me order that. They got this one color called Imperial Gold. And I've been using Vallejo's Old Gold, but it's ready to be sat down or whatever. I'm sorry, my mind drifted there for a second. I was thinking about something else. But either way, I ordered a bunch of paints, and for my collection, and I thought, I don't have any place to put these paints. I'm gonna run out of space. I'm gonna have paints just lining the walls. So, that's okay. At least there'll be paints that I don't have, and that if I ever need them, I can use them. I've been looking at my P3 paints that are on this other rack over here, right there, and I almost never use them. That actually is a Vallejo rack. I think I got it from Sarissa, and it has holes in it that you can put 10 bottles or maybe 9 bottles per row, but it's also kind of a shelf that you can put other types of paints in, and I keep my P3 in there. Well, if I got rid of that paint rack, I know, I hate to say it. And got another one of these. That holds, right now, it holds 70 paints. This holds 96 Vallejo style bottles. Or ammo, AK, MiG. It'll hold all those. That'll only hold bottles. I could take all those, I could take that rack and put it on one of my product shelves, just to get it out of the way, and I could add another one of these racks. I really want to do that. I love this spinner here. It holds a ton, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there's 12 per shelf in this spinner, right? And 3 shelves, that's 36, and there's 4 around. So it's 4 times 36, whatever that is. But it's way more than one of those. But but as you can see, it kind of takes up a lot of space because it's projected out away from the back wall, where this goes flush up against the wall. So I like these. I don't remember where I got these. I think I got these off of Amazon. I think. Man, I haven't painted a lick. Haven't felt like it. I haven't felt like painting. Okay, so I got paint coming in, a bunch of colors that I don't have. And believe it or not, I ordered some fantasy colors. And I thought about it. I was like, do I need that orc skin? Do I need that necromant, or what was it called? Zombie flesh? And I was like, yes. Just because it's called orc skin doesn't mean you have to paint an orc with it. It's just a green. It's like a darker green. And I was like, yeah, I want that color. And I looked at the zombie flesh and I was like, can I use that? Yeah. But my P3 paints, I've also got some Polyess. I've got some Citadel. What else do I got? Oh, I even have that rack will actually hold folk art paint as well. But there's a bunch of paint over there that I will pull out and I will use very rarely. So I'm thinking I'm going to put that on the shelf and get another one of those. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I thought about taking these shelves, turning them sideways, because they can go sideways, they can go up, or, however. And wait, there's 9 by 12. 9 by 12. That's over 100, right? That's 108? Yeah, that's 108 paints. But if I turn it sideways on my table that I'd built over here, it would interfere with the spinner. Now I can move the spinner. This is a lot of stuff going through my mind, right? I can move the spinner over here by my brushes. And I got this plastic tray here. I can get rid of that. Or not get rid of it, but reposition it. Reposition all that stuff that's in it somewhere else. And if I put the spinner over there, I could put 3 of these along the back wall. And I could even, if I really felt spunky, I could put one along the side wall if I get rid of the spinner. I don't know. My mind is, I'm trying to reorganize so that I can have maximum paint. These can be hung on the wall, but I don't want to have to get up and go to my wall every time I need to paint. I'm not going to do that. I paint so much. And I find myself using a lot of the same colors. World War II Americans, there's a set of paints. Germans, Russians, British, or whatever. All of these guys, they use leather brown, khaki, and I use old wood for their muskets. Yeah, also muskets, but for the rifles, and then I use gunmetal or steel or oily steel or whatever I use for the metallic parts. I use black. I use flesh. So I use a lot of the same colors on a lot of different models. And but even though I use the same colors all the time, there's that one time that I'm painting some guy and I need a different color, right? Like this magenta or whatever. Like this, I don't know if it's called, it's like Argyle, but it's something else. Agrafane or something. I don't remember what it's called. But I'll use it on one set of troops. And I don't want to have to get up, walk over to a paint rack, grab that color, and come back. It wouldn't be too much of a hassle to do that. It really wouldn't, but I just don't want to do it. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy son of a bitch. Okay, my rules. Napoleonic. Oh, this is the last group of troops that need to be done to do Quatre Bras. After these, I'm going to be moving on to probably the Hougoumont battlefield. And I'm going to take every unit that I've already painted and try to proxy them into that Hougoumont battle. It won't be very hard for the French because the same corps that fights at Quatre Bras fights at Hougoumont. But the French have some cavalry behind them, and the British, the corps that fights at Quatre Bras, is actually kind of spread out across the front, and the gaps are filled by different units. So once I figure out if I could proxy any of those different units, I will, because I plan to do the main road that goes down the middle of Waterloo. I plan to do the left side of the road and then the right side of the road. It's two different battlefields. Okay, this doesn't want to open. Oh, look at that. As soon as I say something, it pops right open. Okay. It's got one of those, if the seal is broken, don't open it. This is a fiber supplement. This is something I bought on my own. It's not prescription or anything. Fiber Well, Vita Fusion, sugar free, which is good for me nowadays. I'm really paying attention now to my blood sugar and my what do you call it? Glucose level and all that. When my blood sugar drops really low, I drink some orange juice or something. I've got some Sunny D over here that I'm probably going to grab. Ooh, these smell good. Supports digestive health and regularity. Berry and peach. So it shows a strawberry, a blackberry, and peach. Those are the only berries I see. I was going to take a couple just to see what they taste like. No flavor? Okay. They're kind of like a gummy with little or no flavor. I might just be getting that from having vomited. No gluten, no corn syrup, no dairy. This is funny. When it comes to your digestive health, go with your gut. Every serving comes with 5 grams of prebiotic fiber. All that plus our signature deliciousness. Well, if there's no flavor, can you really say it's delicious? Sugar alcohol. What is that? 1 gram. A serving size is 2 of them. It has beeswax in it. It does have carrot concentrate. What? Made with 100% certified renewable electricity. Did I really need to know that? I guess there are some people that need to know that. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be doing any painting today. When we get done here chit-chatting, I think I'm going to go take a nap. Okay, what else? Okay, these gloves. The main reason why I got these gloves is because they're breathable. And they were listed as jeweler's gloves for working and making jewelry. So I thought that would be good for dealing with miniatures. And I don't really care if I get paint on them or anything. Okay, the flavor is there, but it's very subtle, which I guess is a good thing. So I ordered a pack of like a dozen of these because my nitrile or whatever they are, the rubber gloves, they work exceptionally well. They keep paint off my hands. They keep the band-aid, when I have band-aids, they protect them from getting paint on them, or they also are grippy, so they're very when you're holding something, these gloves are very slippery. And because they're fabric, they get caught on things like miniature swords or whatever. But that's okay. But the main reason why I got these as opposed to sticking with the rubber gloves, I've been doing a lot of painting. I mean, when I paint a lot. 8 hours, 10 hours, sometimes longer, when I'm feeling better. And I don't think to take the gloves off and let my hands air out. What happens is sweat starts to build up inside the glove. It has nowhere to go. So it sits on my fingers. And I know this because when I take the glove off, it turns inside out. And then the inside is covered in sweat. Which causes a problem with my skin. I develop blisters. And then I got to wrap my fingers in Band-Aids. So I was hoping I could get gloves that are just as good, but breathable. And so we ordered this one pair of gloves, which the palm and the fingers have like rubber strips, making it very sticky to hold. It can hold on to stuff. But the backside is fabric. I really like those gloves. But I don't know what I did. I probably ordered a child size or something. Because they barely go on the hand and cover the palm and the wrist. They work. They're just labeled as small. And I'm trying to avoid getting blisters. That's why I wear the gloves in the first place. So my glasses, I always, 100% always, when I get up from this desk, if I'm going to get up from it for going to bed, I will take the glasses off and I will sit them at my keyboard. And then head off to bed. So when we called the ambulance, I didn't have my glasses on me. They were at the computer. I got home. My glasses were nowhere to be found. I asked my son, I asked my wife, did you move them? Did you put them somewhere? No, we didn't touch your glasses. Without them, I can barely read a label or my phone screen or anything. But luckily, I have like 10 sets of glasses of various strengths on my computer desk. I just had to go through all my glasses, but they're not labeled properly. And when I ran across this pair right here, I was like, oh, okay. This one will work. But they're not exactly 100%. They're probably close to like 90%, 95%. So they're really good, but they're not like my old glasses. So I've been looking at nooks and crannies and stuff, thinking that maybe when my wife came and cleaned off everything off my computer desk, she might have moved it without even realizing it. But I can't find it. Is that just 2 per day? Or 2 every hour? Or how much am I supposed to be taking of this? And then my painting glasses, they work with the eyeglasses. Oh, I tore that thing off. And it says gummies per day. Chew thoroughly before swallowing. Here we go. Maybe I can piece it together. Suggested adults take 2 gummies per day. Okay, so it's just 2 per day. I didn't want to start eating it like candy. So my wife gave me some Splenda to put in my coffee and tea or whatever I'm making. And I don't know if you ever used Splenda before, but it's not. It's a sweetener, but it gives a little aftertaste. So I went looking for other possible sweeteners, and I found monk fruit. And then I found this box, Splenda monk fruit. So in my next cup of coffee, I'm going to try this. Because I've had monk fruit in the past, and I thought it was fine. There's another thing they have. It's called Avia or something like that. So I thought about getting both of them and then comparing them. But I didn't want to. Let me rephrase it. I didn't want to. So I decided to pick one or the other. And so I Googled, what's the difference? Monk fruit apparently is a gourd found in Asia that was harvested by, guess what? Monks. And I guess that's what that is. Even though the pictures online looked like gourds. And apparently these monks have been using it for a while. One half cup. Okay. If you normally use 2 tablespoons of sugar, use 1 pack of monk fruit. Oh, I guess that's teaspoons. 2 tablespoons would be 3 packs. Okay, so I'll have to decide how many I'm going to use to make it appropriate for me. But the other one, the Avia or whatever it is a leaf in South America. And they say they're both perfectly fine for like diabetics or whatever, because they don't have any sugar added. And they're both like 200 to 300 times stronger than sugar. Yeah, it's much sweeter than sugar, but contains 0 calories. Named after the monks that harvested the fruit over 800 years ago. Okay, that's exactly what I read online. Okay, but so they have a lot of the same qualities suitable for people with diabetes. Okay, that's good. I knew that. But the main difference between the two is that this Avia stuff the leafy sweetener, it causes digestive issues, and it has an aftertaste, where monk fruit has neither, but it's usually more expensive. Try our original sucralose. Oh, here it is. And farm-grown stevia-based sweetener. It's stevia. That's what I was looking at. But I'm not going to do stevia because I don't want stomach issues, or because I already have those, or an aftertaste. Now you can buy monk fruit in the bag, like by the pound or whatever. Just, use a teaspoon to shovel it out. But I'm actually okay with using packets. All right, so I've been talking to you all about my health issues in the store and stuff like that, and not actually doing any painting. I pulled this color down. Originally, I was going to paint their backs of their heads with this color, their hair, before I painted their helmets or coal packs. But I'll do that when I'm more settled, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So when I ordered the paint, I thought it would be a good opportunity to order more grass. And I specifically ordered the 1.5 millimeter, the really thin stuff, mainly for smaller figures. I have some liquid water up there, or some water puddles, or whatever it's called, from AK. It comes in a bottle like this. This says matte varnish, obviously, but it comes in a bottle, this exact same bottle with just a different label, and it's called water puddles. And you just take it and go drop, drop, drop on the figure bases, or diorama or terrain pieces that you're building or whatever, and it'll dry like a resin, like a water puddle, because it'll self-level. It'll instead of it being a big like mound of liquid, it'll kind of compress down onto the model, I guess, as it dries. So one of these units, I'm not sure which one, is going to have water puddles. I've decided to experiment because I've never used it, and I'm looking forward to it. And then I can give a review, when I do my Napoleonic project final Quatre Bras project update, because I've already painted the church. The church is finished, so all the buildings are done. All the trees still need to be flocked, but that's just a one night activity. I can sit here, watch YouTube, and just flock trees. But one of these units is going to get puddles, just to see what it looks like. and then I'll show it off when I do the project update. I do have a commission that needs to get done. So immediately after these, I've got some Prussian artillery limbers that I've got to do. But backing up a little bit, when I was shopping for paint, it asked like, what brands do you want to look at? And I only gave them like 3 brands. I said Vallejo, AK, and MiG ammo. And so as I was going through my 60 pages of different colors of paints, it wasn't just paint. Some of it was varnish, some was retarder, some was a mixture or whatever. There was a lot of other things on there. But as you know, AK and AK not so much, but MiG and Vallejo both have texture paste, an acrylic-based texture paste, and I'm always using. I've come to the conclusion, I'm always going to use European mud, European thick mud. It goes on nice and thick. It is easily sculpted to give three-dimensional dirt appearance. It covers the gaps between the bases, and it's got a really good color. But then I saw Russian thick mud, and I was like, oh, Russian thick mud. That's not. They also had like a light thick mud and a brown mud and some other muds that I've tried in the past, and I just don't like them. But I saw this Russian one, and so I ordered a bottle of that. That should be exciting. And I don't know if I'm going to use that one on the one I do puddles, or if I'm going to use that one on one of the other ones, because it's almost a black dirt. Like it's really dark brown. I'll have to see, because I've noticed that the colors that they're showing on their website is not necessarily the color that you get. It's got a shade off, and that's why I ordered 3 or 4 different crimson, rose, magenta, whatever that color name is. I can't remember. I ordered like a bunch of different ones, but I also made sure I didn't have any of those already. Also, I didn't want my hand to shake while I was painting. So after I nap, I'll come back and I'll continue painting. But it'll unfortunately be off stream. I did wind up getting some of this. This is another thing that I got. Acetone Pure, or Pure Acetone. This was for cleaning my brushes, because I've tried the various brush washes like Magic Brush or a Crud Cutter or tool cleaner and a whole bunch of different brush cleaners, but they're weak. They're, I think you're supposed to use those like what I use my soap and water. You know, you're supposed to use those during the project. But what I wanted was some of my brushes here that are a little bit old, maybe some paint got in the barrel or the bristles aren't doing too good. I wanted to see if I could revitalize them. So I found the strongest thing possible, and it is acetone. And it's for cleaning. This is a nail polish remover brand, but it's for like people that have put like a resin or not an acrylic, like an enamel nail polish on their fingernails, and they need that to be removed. And like you go to a nail polish salon or whatever, and they'll soak your fingers in acetone so that you can get that nail polish removed. But I didn't want a nail polish remover. I wanted paint remover, right? So I kind of looked around and thought, is it mineral spirits? Is it turpentine? Is it acetone? What is the best? And I kept getting the response that acetone is the strongest. So I said, okay. I bought it. I've only used a very little bit amount. You can see how much I've used. And that basically did all my brushes. And put it in a coffee cup, one that I use for cleaning brushes. The one that I've used in the past with my turpentine and mineral spirits, and that mineral spirits turpentine, that does jack diddly poop. It doesn't clean anything. But when I put this acetone in that cup, and I only put a little bit in, right? I didn't try to fill the cup up. And then I swirled my crusty, old, nasty brush in there. The paint just said, let me get off this brush. Poof! It just jumped off the brush. And I was like, oh, what is happening? This is like exactly what I wanted. Right? But I saw online when I was looking for the strengths and stuff like that, like which one are you going to use? I found online that it said, soak your brush in the acetone. And they're not talking about little, 5.0 paintbrushes. They're talking about house painting brushes or whatever. Or brushes that you paint fingernails with. But they said, soak your brush in for just a minute, swirl it around, agitate it, then use a wire brush, which I have, to scrape off any paint. Just use, a wire brush. And I did that, and it cleaned all the bristles off. And it said, don't stop there. You gotta, once you get it into the state you want it, don't let it dry on the brush. Put it in some water, swirl it around, get the acetone off of the brush, because depending on the type of bristles you have, sable, acrylic, not acrylic, nylon, or whether it's like red sable and white sable, nylon, synthetic, or whatever you're using on your brush, some of them don't react well to the acetone. And what they mean by that is it will dry them out and crack them. And I was like, so make sure you get some water, soap and water, and clean off your brush. Clean the acetone off your brush before you store it. I've done that, and I used my magic gel to shape the point on the brush. And oh man, you don't even know. My brushes, not all of them, some of them are still helpless or hopeless, but 9 out of 10 of them are back to looking brand new. So this was a good investment. I love it. Strongly recommend it. I've had a urge to go back to my Romans and start finishing them, and my Germans and stuff, because they're easy to paint. And I still need a few more units done to fill out an army so that I can play some Meg. But I wanted to make sure the Quatre Bras was finished. So once this Quatre Bras is finished, I am going to move on to the Waterloo battlefields, but I'm going to take some time to organize those sheets and try to figure out what units I need. But in the meantime, I'm probably going to paint some Romans. My Caesarian, late Republican. I'll also have to really knuckle down and start writing my rules. I've written the rules already, but I've gone through so many additions and so many changes, and it's all mixed up. So what I need to do is go through my rules and delete everything that I'm not using and add everything I want to use and make sure it's clean and concise and organized before I do a playtest. All right, guys. Well, I've been on for about 2 hours, and I don't know why I got my headset on. I think I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm feeling okay to be able to do that, but not good enough to do any painting right now, because I didn't really get much sleep last night. Like I said, I woke up early. All right. Well, you guys take care, and I will catch you maybe tomorrow, depending on how I feel. All right, guys.